Okay, so welcome. Happy Wednesday. We're going to spend the next 30 minutes chatting through a topic that I have titled 6 Ways to Make Your First or Next $6,000 Using 6 Visionary Methods. That is a loaded statement. And there's a reason why I chose the number 6, but I'm not going to tell you right now. That'll be a secret that I continue to sprinkle in over the next few master classes that I teach. And it's kind of like a golden goose egg. This is totally not on the topic of today's webinar, but if there is something special to you in your life, maybe it's a number, maybe it is like a certain geometric shape or a word, for example, sprinkle it into all of your content, kind of like a little golden nugget or a golden egg that your clients and customers will continue to see pop up, and they'll start to become intrigued, like, why do they always use this shape, or why do they always talk about this number? Like, you have 42 seconds to share what you did on Saturday. Like, why did she choose 42? Again, it's something that I've just started playing around with and very fascinated with it. Okay, so like I said before I started recording, I was first inspired by this topic because going back to December, so just a few months ago when things were quote unquote normal, I came into the month and I was like, wow, I cannot believe we're wrapping up 2019 already. I had big goals for the year and I felt like I was on track with everything, but I really wanted to close out the year with a bang. So I actually set a personal goal. And it was more than just the money, but one of the pieces of it was to make an extra $10,000 on top of what I knew my regular reoccurring income from my clients was going to be. And I thought, I know I have different projects and strategies that I've been accumulating all year in my head, but I have not taken action on them yet. And I didn't want to go into 2020 feeling like I didn't do everything I wanted to in the calendar year of 2019. So I shared those strategies with you in a January masterclass. And this is mostly just past clients and students of mine. And I often will do things like this just based on my own learnings. And it was really well received. And I know some of you were able to implement those strategies in January with that momentum of the new year. So this time, I really want to focus in on those of you who are in the earlier phases of your business at this moment. You're likely here because you're pulling in somewhere between $0 and $2,000 a month from your current offer. And so I want to bring it back. And instead of teaching you how to make $10,000 in 10 days, a more manageable goal for many of you will be $6,000 in the next 6 days. Okay. And it's very, very possible because you have a great offer. You have something amazing to deliver to a client, even if it's still kind of conceptual. The missing piece is that you're not selling it yet, right? There's a little bit of effort required to get it into the hands of people who need it. And before I dive into it all, of course, there's no magic pill. If you have a bad product, or if your product is just totally out there and irrelevant to the current times, and I show this picture of Pepsi AM because it was a product that did not succeed, no amount of marketing or sales strategies can help you. So I'm not going to be showing you like some magic formula that you just plug in and you instantly have $6,000 in your bank account. You need to be able to get results for your clients. You need a good product. If the product is not great, such as breakfast Pepsi, it likely is never going to take off, no matter how much coaching I give you with these strategies, okay? But going a little bit back to what I was saying, you have a great offer. I know it could be in your head, or it could be written out, or it could be on your sales page. You do have an audience to sell to. Everybody has an audience, okay? And if you have not thought about who your audience is, like who could you help? Who is your dream client? You should be able to write down at least 20 people. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's someone you met on Instagram. Maybe it's someone you met on vacation 4 years ago who you have on Facebook. Maybe it's a family member. You all have an audience. And If you haven't already started tracking who that audience is, like get an Excel document open. I know it sounds awful, but you're your sales team, right? If you have a great offer, you have people to sell it to. No, it's not magic. The other piece is that you need strategies that convert your efforts into sales, right? And you are the salesperson. I know most of you on this call, we've worked together and you have proof that your idea or your product or service or experience can help somebody, okay? But that's not good enough to be running a profitable business. You have to be your sales team. How much time are you spending ringing the cash register, okay? It's such a vital part of making your business a real business. And I know it's not sexy. It's not all of your strengths, but it is definitely the piece that is lacking, okay? A typical salesperson is taking customers out to lunch on a daily basis. They are searching for new client leads. They're getting on the phone with interested customers. They're following up with people on a daily basis. They're implementing what a marketing team is creating. But you are all of those things, okay? So never forget that that is a huge part of your job, is to actually ask for the sale. It's scary. I know it's not the most fun thing for most of you. Some people, they feel like they're born salespeople. They're like, yeah, I tell everybody I know about what I do. And that's wonderful. But for the other 90% of people, that is not an innate gift of theirs. But I can tell you right now, if you can't get that cash register to ring, you need to go back to the basics of sales training, or you need to apply these 6 strategies that I'm going to give you here. And I am available to all of you to help you, okay? So please never forget that I want to see your business succeed. I want to support you in giving you the right training so that you can actually get people through the door, give them a transformation, and have them being a client for life. All right. So let's dive into the content today. So take as many notes as you want, and please write down questions that you might have for me at the end, because the biggest piece of this is listening now and then highlighting 1 or 2 or 3 things that you're going to take action on. Okay. So what is that symbol? You're going to like put a star or a heart or a dollar sign beside the things you're actually going to do. Okay. So for the purpose of the strategies that I'm going to share, I'm going to use a conceptual business to basically show how we could apply each of these strategies to a business, okay? So you're going to have to extract the idea and say, how could I apply this to my business? But let's pretend for the duration of today that we're building a coaching business that helps restaurant owners to earn more, to be more profitable, to stress less, because we know that the restaurant industry is a stressful business, right? They work long hours, a lot of people to manage, kind of unpredictable flows of people and seasons. So we're a coaching business that helps restaurant owners to earn more, stress less, and spend more time at home with their family, okay? So that is going to be the concept that I tie through this entire class today. So first strategy in how you can make your first 6K or your next 6K in the next 6 days, okay, is bottling up what you know now. You don't need another certification. You don't need more time. You simply need to package up what you know, a certain framework, a certain journey, a certain teachable moment. And you need to get that down on paper, figure out what the transformation is for somebody who will watch this masterclass or go through this mini course, and then you need to implement it. And this could be as simple as thinking, okay, there are people who are stressed in the restaurant industry. They're not spending any time with their family. And I've developed 5 ways or 5 little known secrets about running a successful restaurant while maintaining your sanity and spending as much time with your family as you want. 7 secrets, okay? You know that to be true if this is your business. So the simplest way to do that, get a squeeze page or a landing page and say, I'm teaching this class 7 little known secrets to doing XYZ. Pick a date, okay? It's going to be hosted on Friday, June 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then you get people to sign up and you're charging for this. A low amount, okay? So this is a mini version of what will eventually be your biggest package, okay? So what is a mini masterclass or course that you could teach in the duration of 1 or 2 hours? We're going to keep it so simple. There's no workbooks. There are no pre-recorded videos. It's only for people who show up live. So all you have to do is show up on the date you said you would, promote the crap out of it, get people to purchase that mini version, make it super sexy, make it something they want, make it something they need, and then show up and teach from the heart. Teaching is marketing, okay? If you've never done a masterclass, schedule it in the next 30 days. Charge between $97 and $197. I always use 7s, but if you want to do $199, that's fine too. And if you need help titling it, because a good title is really important. Again, like a good title won't sell a bad product, but if you have a great idea, you could call it How to Maintain Your Restaurant's Revenue While Working Less. Okay, restaurant owners are going to be raising their hand. How to hire a rock star team for your restaurant in 5 simple steps and get it right the first time. Hello, restaurant owners are going to love that. Come behind the scenes with us to see how we run a profitable restaurant in 30 hours a week. So take those titles that I just rhymed off and insert your version of it, okay? Those can be applied to any business. I've literally used all of those titles in my own business and I don't run a restaurant. I've just tweaked it, okay? So that's it. That is the first strategy. It should not be overwhelming to you because we're simplifying the crap out of it. I know many of you have heard me talk about this analogy, but if you're like, I don't know what to teach for a masterclass, Kels, picture this. Your clients are living on a place that we call Island A. They are experiencing a lot of stress, discomfort. They are not spending time with their family in the case of the restaurant. They feel very manic that they're at work 24/7 because their restaurant is always open or always having to do something. It's not a nice place to be. They want to get off of Island A. They see restaurant owners living on Island B. They're like, oh, there are people who have balance. There are people who take days off. There are people who get vacations from their restaurant. Not me. They want to be there on Island B, okay? They just don't know how. They don't care about the boat that's going to drive them. It could be a masterclass, a mini course, a consultant. It could be a retreat, an ebook, whatever. They just want to get themselves that little transformation over to Island B. So your masterclass is the boat, but you need to be talking about that transformation. So do this exercise after the webinar today. Where are people? Where are they at when they're on Island A? So think about your unique audience. If they suffer from a certain condition or a certain ailment, or they're just like this restaurant situation, stressed, overtired, burning out, what would be their ideal Island B? What's that happy outcome, that dream come true? If they work less, they're less stressed and they never feel burnout. Your masterclass can be the boat that takes them there. So start talking about it. I'm going to do a little through line of how you can generate money here, just to give you a visual. So if you taught or sold 5 masterclass spots at $199 or $197, that's $1,000 in your pocket, okay? It's not a lot to sell 5. When I first started teaching online marketing concepts, I made a social media course. I sold it for $97 and I was shocked that people were buying it from me. But again, super low price. I was talking about something I was super passionate about. And 4 years ago, no one else was really talking about it. So again, like just come up with something. It's a great way to get people to enter into your community, and they'll probably become paying clients in the future for your higher ticket offer, right? So there's $1,000 in your pocket. Okay, next concept is to productize your service. I know this one sounds probably a little bit confusing, but I want you to dream up what some of the visuals are behind your service. So yes, you can talk about what you do all you want, but people need to be able to imagine the journey. They need to see where they are going. They want you to paint a picture of their dream come true future. And when I say paint a picture, I don't mean like word vomiting on them. I've done that too many times and it overwhelms people. You talk about what your magic is. You're like, I can help burnt out restaurant owners. And they're like, okay, great. But like, tell me more and don't confuse me. So when I say productize your service, I mean, draw a map, make it look pretty and show people where they're going. This could be for your masterclass, your higher ticket service. You need more visuals, okay? Text is great, and I've taught many of you how to write your sales pages, but the next step in what has helped my business and many other businesses is making a very visual roadmap. So many of you have probably seen the Visionary Method roadmap. Starts with the revision session, and then it goes clockwise all the way around. It shows people what they're getting into without me having to blab on and on about each step in the process, right? So going back to this visual, it is a lot easier to imagine the journey and see the destination when somebody gives you the map. So you could do this in a program like Canva. Use the timeline template. Make your own. Draw a circle or a map like this and just show people what those milestones are. You know, first, we're going to decide how many hours do you actually want to work in your restaurant? Second, do you have the team in place to be able to step away? Then on our next call, third, we are going to put systems in place so that the restaurant runs without you. Fourth, we are going to practice taking a week off and seeing what the different loopholes are, etc. Right? So give people a visual and maybe make it branded with your colors, with little fun visuals. This is the missing piece that not a lot of people are talking about, something that I feel very strongly that we should all be doing. A great way to make the cash register ring, because a lot of us are visual learners. We don't learn with mounds and mounds and mounds of text. Strategy number 3. You've probably seen me do this many times. It's a I'm looking for 5 email. So this is a high converting email template that leads to somebody buying, okay? So it's a template that I'm going to show you momentarily that is really, really effective because it's simple. And so what you're doing is you're essentially putting out a call to action. Again, I don't care if you've made your product or service yet or if it's still in your head. It's never too early to round up your first few people who will try this out with you. So here's what it says. I'm looking for 5 motivated and driven restaurant owners who want to increase their revenue, decrease stress, and spend more time at home this year. Okay, so if you're speaking to your target audience, they're nodding along right now. If you're ready to work hard and find simplicity in your restaurant systems, are you motivated to spend time at home this year because the past few years that's been nearly impossible? Friendly, you're excited to feel so much less stress than you do right now. You want the framework to support you, but you have no clue where to begin. Then reply with this word, and then I'll pass along more details. So this is a simple way to call in the people that you know you can help. And then maybe you create the product or service after you get these responses and say, hey, we're going to create this in real time together. And I'll talk about this a little further down the masterclass today, but You do not need to have your program completed before you start doing things like this. That's a myth, right? You can create it in real time as long as you're very transparent about that. So this is a wonderful email template to keep on hand. Don't lose it. And make it your own too, right? You don't need to copy and paste it. It has to be unique to you. So sending an email like this, for many of you, it's going to get 5 hands up. 5 people who say, like, they'll reply with that code word. At $497, because you're going to make a little mini version after you do your masterclass, do a bigger course, right? So maybe this is your 6-week restaurant tour coaching program. $497, you get 5 hands up from that email. That's $2,500 in your pocket. So this will be like a beta offer, and I'll explain that further. So we're doing well so far. We're already up to $3,500. Speaking of beta offer, now I know I'm speaking to a group of you who many of you have not launched anything yet. It's time to get your beta offer on the table. So now that you've rounded up 5 people who want this offer, the one you're charging $497 for, you are basically getting them into your community and saying, hey, this is the first time I am running this, or, this is exclusive access to the program. I'm giving it to you 5 people who raised your hand at a lower price because I just want your feedback. I want to make sure that this program gets you insane results. If not, then no sweat off your back. You didn't pay much to get into it. But the program will never be this affordable again, right? Because you'll probably want to raise your prices after that. So create some type of beta offer. You did your Island A and Island B exercise. You know what people want from you. You know what they need from you. Run a beta group and make it kind of like, guys, yeah, I've been doing this for a while, but this is the first time that I want to put that framework around it. I want 5 of you to come with me and let's see if we can get you those results really, really quickly. And I know you can all do that. I wouldn't be saying this if I thought that you'd be failing all of your communities, because you each have something really brilliant to share. And sometimes you overlook that, but there are so many people who don't actually have the tools in their toolbox that you have to share with them. And even if they do, they forget about them, or they just don't feel like rounding them all up on Google and Pinterest. They just want you to give them the solution. So do that for them. So running a beta group after you put out that I'm looking for 5 email. As you're running your beta group, this is another strategy for you to make some extra money. You're going to get people who raise their hand and then they disappear. This is where something called the 9-word email comes in. I must say, there are too many people dropping novels into my inbox. I'm not reading them, right? I'm sure you don't want to read them either. I see some of you laughing. Our inboxes are crowded. They're amazing places to connect, to deepen relationships, to make sales, but sometimes simplicity is bliss. 9 words or less, or maybe a couple more, but we'll just stick with 9. Hey, Kim, are you still interested in joining the Restaurant Revolution Masterclass? Or, hey, Sally, how are you feeling about going into the busy season of your restaurant? Something simple. Connect with people, ask them a question. These types of emails get a very high response rate. So we know that engaging in conversation often leads to a sale. So why not send out a slew of these emails with people who have expressed interest, with people who you know you could help, and use these email templates to get them into your beta offer, right? I know that you're not all sales copywriters, and neither am I, but these templates do work. I'm looking for 5, and then following up with some sort of 9-word email. Short, sweet, to the point, just get the conversation started. Don't overwhelm them by being like, it's a 4-day program. We're going to do it on Zoom. It starts at 7:30. They don't care, right? You just want to listen, open up the dialogue so they can say, God, I am so burnt out. It's going to be a struggle going into this year. And then you say, actually, I've been thinking about launching a little program. We really want to share some of the strategies that we have learned with our community. Next strategy, be more valuable. So most of you are service providers and you get paid by bringing more value to the marketplace. The direct correlation there, okay? And more value doesn't mean tons of crappy content. It means some really good pieces, okay? So start sharing epic content and you will have people messaging you left, right, and center. Now, if nobody's paying attention to your content, it's because it's probably not good. Nobody wants to pay attention. That's okay. It's just data that we need to improve it. So start being more generous with your knowledge. Share the good stuff, okay? Don't give me some, like, I don't know, robotic post that you wrote because you saw somebody else writing a post on it. No, you have to go back to your strengths, your gifts. If you're quirky, be quirky. If you're really scientific, be scientific. If you inspire people to the max, inspire them. Next strategy. I might have like 7 or 8 in here, so forgive me. Seed referrals. All of you can do this right now. So if you're going to have a masterclass or a beta offer to get people into, ask people to refer their friends and family members into your program. So tell your past clients what your new focus is, or tell your current audience what you're focusing on. So I'm now focusing on building a program for stressed out restaurant owners. And then ask them if they know anybody who's interested in chatting with you. Or be really blunt, seed a direct referral by saying, I'm looking to connect with fellow restaurant owners in Ontario. Can you call me if you know anyone, or text me, or comment below? Because you know what? Everybody loves adding their opinion. And when you plant the idea in their head, like, do you know a restaurant owner in Ontario or in Toronto? Can you just let me know who they are below? I guarantee you they're going to drop email addresses, contacts. I know a restaurant owner. I'm cool enough. I have status. And then you start cultivating community with those people. I'm not saying go poach a sale out of them. Be a kind person. Get in touch. Be like, how are you feeling amongst all of this? What are you thinking about going into the busy summer season? Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So seed the referral. Make a statement. I'm looking to connect with blah, blah, blah in this state or in this province. It could be like a real estate agent. I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house with a pool in Toronto. Call me if you know anyone. And everyone's like, oh, I know someone with a pool. Like, and really it's just like jargon because that real estate agent is just looking for any house to sell. But being specific works. Seed that referral. Let people know what you're up to and how they can support your business, right? When we're in conversation, we love to say, oh, I just tried this new brand, or oh, I'm working with this coach, or oh, I just read this book. But people need to know what you're doing. If you get 2 referrals from your masterclass or from your beta offer, and each of those people come to you, so just 2 people, that's not a lot. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you were offering this coaching for busy restaurant owners. If you're selling at $497, you get 2 referrals. That's it. You got another $1,000 in your pocket. That's not hard to do. Ask for the referral. Next strategy, and this will be the last one, is the PS, I'm still thinking about you, that I never gave up on you. The you're still on my mind. I didn't get in business to be a sleazy salesperson. I'm here because I care, whether it's giving you free knowledge to help you or whether it's you buying my $5,000 program, okay? Don't be that person who only talks to people when you want to sell. So just a quick stat, 85% of the value of the leads you generate today, if you generate 100 leads today, so people who say, I'm interested, are more than 90 days away from the sale. People aren't just going to find you and then buy instantly, okay? If that's what you want, then you are kind of living in la la land. It takes time to nurture people and to move them down the path of wanting to actually work with you and fork over their hard-earned money into your pocket. So keeping in touch like you mean it. Sending them thinking of you messages. Like, don't actually just say thinking of you. That sounds really depressing. But like, reach out and say something nice. Be like, hey, I saw that you were recently featured on a podcast. That's amazing. I love the part of you sharing how much you struggled last season with the restaurant. Like, it really resonated with me. I've been there before. Right? I think a lot of people, like, you'll listen to the podcast, for example, but you won't actually message the person who you felt very connected to. You got to get vocal. Use your skills to connect with people in any way that feels good for you. Sending voice notes is a great idea. Facebook Messenger, inviting them to fun events that you've got online or in person. It's really just personalized marketing, right? A one-on-one conversation. It doesn't take a lot of effort on your part. When somebody pops into your mind, show up for them, nurture them, love on them, actually care about their problems, be generous with your time. Send them messages on their half birthday. Surprise them with a little snail mail. Send them a funny GIF, right? Like, use Giphy.com and send them something hilarious. They'll love that. So by being a nice, generous person, you're going to capture old leads or people who you thought, oh, they didn't join my masterclass. That's too bad. Don't just be like, they're a write-off. Goodbye. Keep in touch. Just say, hey, I recorded it. Here's the replay. Or, hey, I'd love to hear more about your business or your vision. You capture 3 old leads that maybe you thought they didn't really respond well to your last message. Reach out again. You capture 3 of them, you've got another $1,500 in your pocket. And that's not hard to do. I want you to each send like 10 messages to dream clients today. You could do them all on Facebook Messenger if you want. Or text messages, okay? Something to get you into action. Okay, now it is your choice. So I've given you a sample of how you could achieve that 6,000 income if that would be your goal. Of course, you could apply 1 or 2 of those strategies and make the full 6K. Just by following up with people, you have no idea how powerful that is. That is the missing skill in business, is simply following up. And I know you all have something amazing to share. Just get scrappy, right? Like, do that 30 minutes of hard freaking work, which is looking through people who have messaged you and then never taken action, or building that beta offer, or putting together the landing page for that masterclass. You might have to teach yourself how to do it on YouTube. And I know it's not fun to learn new things sometimes, but this is what it takes to put $6,000 in your pocket. And if you haven't done any of these before, don't stress. It's time to take the leap and do something you've never done before to achieve a result you've never gotten before, right? So do something totally out of your comfort zone. One of those strategies. Of course, before we build the house of money of $6,000, I just want to remind you of some of the foundational pieces you need in place before you go bringing in the dough. You need to believe that you have something awesome, something unique to sell, because if you don't believe it, I really think that translates into all of your conversations. Your customers won't believe it either. So I've got lots of resources on that if you need help. Second secret to building that strong foundation is showing up, right? Like, every day, putting on your leader face and saying, I'm running a business. I need to share this business. I need to show up as my best self by taking care of myself. Consistency is another big piece of that one too, right? Showing up on a consistent and frequent basis. The third thing I want to say is treat your business like a business, right? A business has a sales team or a sales department or a follow-up system. It doesn't need to be complicated, but you have to at least track pen and paper who's constantly engaging with your Instagram post. Who was that girl at the restaurant that said, I have a restaurant and I need help? Like, did you write down her name and phone number? If not, you're really missing out on the ability to capture these people. Probably all heard this before, but you treat your business like a hobby, you get hobby income. You treat it like an empire, you get good income from it because you're pouring into it. You're treating it like it is a profitable business. Next thing, it's never been as easy to run an online business and to make money online as it is right now. All of the systems are there for you. There are free systems. There are really cheap systems to put up landing pages, collect payments, share your offer with the world, get a visual roadmap designed. It's just the action piece that's missing, right? It's just the doing the darn thing. And the last bit I want to share before you go making the money is be remarkable. Don't be average. Don't be that coach that people hire that's like, yeah, it was okay. That doesn't sell anymore. Maybe it will, but you'll never get referrals from it. So if you can just remind yourself to give 150% of your energy to all of your current clients and to make every piece of their journey incredible. Like spend that extra $5 to send them a handwritten note. Send them a little Facebook message when you know they're having a bad day. Give them something unexpected as a resource. These are the touches you have to have in your business before you start scaling up and making all the money. Okay, so the chat box is open if anyone does want to type in a question specific to any of those concepts that I shared. And then otherwise, that is it for our strategies. So I'm glad you all came. I'm sure there's ideas swirling inside your head. So the best thing to do would just be to stay on and ask questions if you have any. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to us, or the best place really to type your comments is in one of your visionary Facebook groups. So if you're part of our communities, do it there. Just because if you have that question, I'm assuming everybody else does, and I'll be able to answer quite quickly there. So if you want to jump off, thank you. And I'll start answering some questions. So Yaga says, what are your recommendations on monthly newsletters? Do they work? Yes. Email lists are amazing. You should always be getting people onto your list. So like, what did I do with this webinar? I asked you to put your email inside of a landing page. I didn't just say, I'll just send you the link. No biggie. I want you all on my email list because that's where I send out important communications and you always see them because it's in your inbox. Not like social media where you might see it, but the algorithm might push it away. So Yaga, yes, you should be sending out monthly newsletters. Of course they work. They should be sent out consistently. So once a week or every first Friday of the month. They are not always to sell, but you might have some PSs at the end. PS, if you are going stir crazy in your home and you need a list of workouts to do, message me and let's chat. Like, you don't have to say you're selling anything, but just get on the phone with people. Be remarkable. Be generous with your time. Emails are a great place to convert people. People buy by clicking links in emails. They don't usually buy through your Instagram bio. So get on the newsletter. It's never too early. Valerie says, how reduced should the reduced cost of your coaching program be for your beta offer? Yeah, so that is totally up to you. Valerie has a social media consulting business. So in order for you to get your first few testimonials, for you to get some really happy clients, I would give them some sort of offer like, hey, for the first 5 clients, I'm giving you 25% off. So now it's $750 a month. Previously, it was $1,000 a month, or it will be going up to $1,000 a month. And so just say this is only available for the first 5 people. And I'm going to be doing extra coaching calls with the marketing team or whoever you're servicing to really support the integration of all my strategy. So it doesn't matter what percentage, it just needs to be something that's appealing to them. Or say for the first 6 months, use the code Valerie to get 15% off. And then at 6 months, it goes up to regular price. So you're giving people the chance to get in early. That's what a beta offer is. Paige says, what would you suggest for online content right now for myself? It's a mermaid princess entertainment business. Right now, I've been doing live videos, personalized videos for children, but free right now as I want to spread the magic. Yeah, so in terms of online content, it should definitely be focused on either educating people, inspiring people, or entertaining them always. For you, you're probably going to want to build your email list right now. So make epic free content that captures people's emails so that when events are back on, birthday parties in the summer, barbecues in the fall, that you can email people and say, I've got promos right now. Hey, Sally, do you still want a mermaid at your daughter's birthday party? Then she says yes. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Any other questions? I'll hang on for another 30 seconds to see if anything comes through. Cool. Well, I don't see any more coming in. So yeah, you guys know where to find me if you need me. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will see you at the next event. You're welcome. Bye, everybody.